Have you ever looked into someone's eyes and felt that something was off? Like their smile wasn't real, like their words were painted with hidden colors you couldn't quite see? Deep inside, you sensed a weight, a strange heaviness that left you questioning yourself, wondering if you were imagining things. That feeling is not random. It is your intuition whispering that envy or falsehood may be present. And the truth is, most people ignore that voice. They brush it aside, convincing themselves that everyone means well. But ignoring it comes with a price. Because when envy hides in plain sight, it can quietly drain your energy, dull your confidence, and make you question your own worth. Think about how much of your life is built on trust. You trust your friends to support you. You trust your family to wish you well. You trust colleagues to celebrate your growth. But what if behind the mask of encouragement, some of them secretly resent you? What if their compliments are laced with bitterness, their silence loaded with judgment, their actions meant to pull you down rather than lift you up? It may sound uncomfortable, but facing this truth is powerful, because once you see envy and falsehood for what they are, you free yourself from being controlled by them. The people who envy you are often those who see something in you they crave but cannot create for themselves. It is not your fault that your light unsettles their shadows. It is not your responsibility to shrink so they feel more comfortable. When you recognize envy, you are not learning to hate others. You are learning to protect your peace. You are learning to draw boundaries so your growth cannot be poisoned by silent resentment. And when you recognize falsehood, you are not becoming cold or cynical. You are becoming wise. You are choosing clarity over illusion. You are giving yourself permission to stand in relationships that are real, authentic, and nourishing. You must understand this. Envy and falsehood are not just about other people. They are mirrors reflecting how deeply you value your own journey. If you stay blind to them, you risk being entangled in invisible chains, always second-guessing your choices, always questioning your worth, always carrying battles that were never yours to fight. But when you open your eyes, when you train your heart to see through the surface, you unlock a different kind of freedom. You no longer waste time trying to win over those who secretly root for your failure. You no longer pour your energy into connections that disguise harm as kindness. Instead, you walk with courage, you rise with clarity, you choose truth even when it stings, because you know truth will always set you free. So ask yourself, how much lighter would your life feel if you no longer had to guess who is for you and who is against you? Imagine the power of surrounding yourself only with people who clap with genuine joy when you win, who challenge you with honesty, who stand with you not because they need something, but because they believe in you. That kind of circle doesn't just lift you higher, it keeps you unshaken when storms of envy and falsehood rise against you. And that is why you must keep listening, keep watching, and keep learning. Because the more you recognize envy and falsehood in others, the more unstoppable your own growth becomes. And this journey we begin right now will give you the tools to see what has been hidden, so you can walk free, strong, and unafraid. The first sign often reveals itself in silence, not the silence of peace, but the silence that follows your victories. When something good happens to you, pay attention to who claps, and more importantly, who doesn't. Real supporters can't hide their joy. They light up when you rise. But envy hides in stillness, in the absence of celebration, in the carefully measured responses that sound supportive but feel hollow. That silence is not harmless. It speaks volumes. It tells you who cannot stand the reflection of their own insecurity when they see you succeed. Recognizing it doesn't mean you stop loving people, but it does mean you stop confusing quiet resentment with quiet respect. Words are another window. Envious people often disguise their bitterness in subtle jokes, sarcastic remarks, or faint praise that leaves you doubting yourself. They might say things like, "You're lucky," instead of acknowledging the effort you put in. They might add a "but" after every compliment, reminding you of what you lack even as they recognize what you've achieved. This is not kindness. This is a strategy to keep you small, to make sure your victories feel incomplete. When you hear such words, don't take them as truth. See them for what they are, reflections of someone else's wounds, not a measurement of your worth. Falsehood often wears the mask of agreement. People who are not genuine will nod along with everything you say, not because they believe in you, but because they want access to you. They study your words, mirror your emotions, and pretend to stand with you. But when the pressure rises, they vanish. True character is revealed in conflict, not in comfort. If someone cannot challenge you with honesty, if they never disagree, never push you toward growth, there's a good chance their loyalty is not real, it's conditional, and conditional loyalty will collapse the moment it costs them something to stand beside you. There's also the pattern of energy. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with someone. Do you leave the conversation inspired, encouraged, and lighter? Or do you feel drained, uneasy, and smaller? Envy and falsehood are not always spoken. They can be felt. Your nervous system often detects what your mind tries to deny. If every interaction leaves you questioning yourself, that's not friendship. That's quiet sabotage. Your body knows. Trust the heaviness. Trust the tension. There are signals guiding you away from hidden harm. Another sign is competitiveness that doesn't look like play. Healthy competition inspires growth. Toxic competition rooted in envy is different. You share an idea, they rush to outdo it. You achieve something, they quickly try to minimize it with their own story. Instead of celebrating, they compete for attention, not out of fun, but out of fear that your shine makes them invisible. If you see this pattern, don't waste energy trying to convince them that there's room for both of you to win. Protect your vision, because their envy will never let them see the abundance that exists for everyone. What you are learning to do is not about becoming suspicious of the world. It is about reclaiming your clarity. The ability to see envy and falsehood frees you from carrying burdens that aren't yours. It allows you to love without blindness, to connect without naivety, to walk boldly without fearing betrayal. And the deeper you practice this awareness, the stronger your inner circle becomes. Because when you know what to look for, you don't just avoid harm. You attract truth, you draw honesty, you create a space where only genuine hearts can stay. That is the power of recognition. It is the shield that protects your growth and the filter that keeps your future clean. Notice how envy often hides behind forced support. Some people will say all the right words, but if you listen closely, their tone tells the truth. Their congratulations sound thin, their excitement feels practiced, and their eyes fail to match their smile. This is the kind of praise that doesn't lift you, it unsettles you. It makes you question why something feels missing in the exchange. That gap between their words and their energy is not your imagination. It is the shadow of envy revealing itself in ways they can't control. Trust that perception because it will protect you from mistaking false encouragement for real loyalty. Another sign is inconsistency. Someone may be warm and generous when you are struggling, but distant and cold when you rise. They are present when you need comfort, but absent when you need celebration. This contradiction is a hallmark of envy and falsehood. True hearts don't change with the seasons of your life. They are steady through joy and pain alike. When you notice someone withdrawing the moment you begin to grow, understand that it is not your growth that created distance. It is their inability to handle it, and you cannot afford to shrink yourself so they can feel steady again. Pay attention also to who changes the subject when the conversation shifts to your success. The ones who truly support you will lean in with curiosity. They will ask questions. They will want to know more because your growth excites them. But the envious will deflect. They will quickly redirect the spotlight, talking about their own struggles, their own wins, or something completely irrelevant just to avoid acknowledging your light. This pattern might seem small, but it speaks loudly. It says, I cannot bear to feed your flame. And when someone cannot bear your light, it is not safe to hand them your fire. Falsehood often thrives in exaggeration. Some people will overcompensate with dramatic declarations of loyalty, promises that sound too good, words that feel too heavy for the moment. They try too hard to convince you they are genuine because beneath the surface they are not. Real support doesn't need to be announced. It proves itself in action. Watch for the ones who speak endlessly of their loyalty but fail to show up when loyalty costs something. The louder the performance, the weaker the truth behind it. There's also the sign of subtle sabotage. Someone envious may not openly attack your dreams, but they will plant small seeds of doubt. They will phrase it as concern. Are you sure you can handle this? Or maybe you should wait. It might not work out. On the surface, it sounds like care, but if you listen deeply, you'll feel the weight of limitation hidden inside. True allies may challenge you, but their words push you upward. False concern, rooted in envy, pulls you downward. The difference is in how it makes you feel, empowered or diminished. Never ignore that difference. Recognizing these signs is not about judgment. It is about liberation. It is about refusing to confuse comfort with truth, words with action, or presence with loyalty. When you can see envy and falsehood clearly, you take back your power. You stop giving your energy to relationships that cannot hold your vision. You stop bending yourself to fit into spaces that were never safe for your growth. And the moment you step into that clarity, you rise lighter, freer, and unshakably focused on what matters most. Your purpose, your peace, and your unstoppable journey forward. There is another sign that reveals itself in how people handle your vulnerability. When you open your heart and share your struggles, the envious listener might appear supportive on the surface, but they will use your openness as quiet ammunition. They will remember your weaknesses, not to help you grow, but to remind you of them when you begin to rise. They may comfort you in your low moments, yet later echo those same struggles to undermine your confidence. True allies guard your vulnerabilities like treasures. False ones keep them like weapons. Pay attention to how people hold your pain. It will tell you whether their heart is safe for your future. Envy also shows up in patterns of imitation. There is a difference between being inspired by you and trying to become you. Inspiration honors the source. Imitation hides it. When someone constantly mirrors your choices, your style, your words, and never acknowledges where it came from, it is often envy disguised as admiration. They are not celebrating your uniqueness. They are competing with it in silence. This is dangerous because it blurs the lines of authenticity. And while you may feel flattered at first, over time, you will notice that their imitation is not about growth, but about erasing your distinction. Guard your originality, for it is the very thing envy tries to steal. Another sign is disproportionate joy at your setbacks. Watch who suddenly becomes more talkative, more available, or strangely energized when you fail. Some people find relief not in their own progress, but in your pauses. They may not say it aloud, but their comfort in your struggle is their quiet confession. Real supporters lean in when you rise, and they stand close when you stumble. But those who thrive on envy often reverse it. They stand back when you succeed and step forward when you fall. If someone's presence increases in your pain but disappears in your triumph, you have already seen their true face. Falsehood can also be felt in the absence of accountability. Those who envy you or secretly oppose you will resist taking responsibility when they hurt you. They will twist words, rewrite events, and place the blame on you for noticing their betrayal. They avoid directness because truth threatens the mask they wear. In contrast, genuine people may stumble, but they admit, they apologize, and they repair. Accountability is the proof of authenticity. The refusal of it is the signature of falsehood. When someone cannot be real about their wrongs, they cannot be trusted with your rights. Another powerful sign lies in energy shifts when you speak your dreams aloud. Share a vision of what you want to build and notice the atmosphere. Real supporters will breathe life into your words. They will lean in with encouragement, offering energy that fuels your courage. But envy cannot hide its reaction for long. A face may tighten, eyes may dim, or a subtle withdrawal may occur. Even if they say the right things, the vibration will feel off. Dreams are spiritual currency, and how others handle them shows whether they come with open hands or closed fists. Protect your visions from those who secretly resent their brightness. Recognizing these truths is not about paranoia. It is about clarity. It is about living free from the shadows that drain your energy. The moment you sharpen your awareness, you stop confusing imitation for admiration, pity for care, or flattery for loyalty. You stop allowing envy to occupy the space meant for love. And as you step into this clarity, you discover the most liberating truth of all. Your spirit already knows who is real and who is not. You only need to trust it, follow it, and let it guide you toward the relationships that will truly honor your light. Envy often disguises itself as concern, appearing as advice that feels cautious, hesitant, or overly critical. Listen closely to the motives behind the words. When someone repeatedly questions your choices, not to help you improve, but to make you doubt yourself, you are witnessing envy in action. These are the voices that plant hesitation, not guidance. They make you pause, second guess, and sometimes even abandon what your heart knows is right. True allies do not lead you into doubt. They illuminate possibilities, challenge you to rise, and trust you to make the best decisions for yourself. When words feel heavy with hidden agendas, honor the warning. That heaviness is a sign that energy is being drained from your growth. Observe the patterns of comparison. Envy thrives on measuring your life against another's rather than celebrating differences. People who secretly resent you will highlight what they perceive as gaps in your success or emphasize their own achievements to outshine yours. They may ask, how did you manage that? Or remark, I wish I had that opportunity, not from genuine curiosity, but to subtly suggest you are not as exceptional as you feel. Recognizing these patterns allows you to disengage from invisible competition. Your path is not theirs to define. Your victories are not diminished by anyone's envy. Understanding this truth protects your focus and preserves the energy that fuels your progress. Body language is another lens through which envy and falsehood reveal themselves. Subtle micro-expressions, tightened lips, fleeting eye shifts, posture that distances rather than embraces, speak louder than words. Humans are wired to communicate unconsciously, and envy often escapes verbal disguise. The unease you feel around certain people is a signal, not an overreaction. Trust it. The mind may rationalize or excuse, but your instincts are tuned to detect imbalance. Honoring these physical cues creates a natural filter, allowing you to recognize when energy is being redirected away from authenticity and towards subtle manipulation. Notice how falsehood manifests in reliability or the lack of it. People who are not genuine rarely follow through on promises when it counts most. They may commit in moments of convenience, but disappear when action demands courage or integrity. Reliability is a silent measure of character. When someone repeatedly fails to deliver without good reason, it's not just an inconvenience. It is evidence of inconsistency, a sign that their loyalty is conditional. Their intentions misalign with truth. Recognizing this protects you from investing trust where it will not be honored. Subtle emotional manipulation is another signal. Envious people may guilt, shame, or subtly provoke you, often under the guise of joking or helpful advice. Their comments may be crafted to trigger insecurity, self-doubt, or internal conflict. These moments may feel small, but over time they erode confidence and clarity. Awareness of these manipulations allows you to step back, analyze intent, and respond with firm boundaries rather than reactive emotion. Boundaries are not walls. They are the armor that allows your energy to remain intact. The ability to discern these truths strengthens your inner vision. It teaches you to observe, feel, and assess the energy that surrounds you without judgment. Each recognition builds resilience. Each insight reinforces clarity. The more you practice seeing through envy and falsehood, the sharper your discernment becomes. You start to gravitate toward those whose hearts and intentions are aligned with growth, honesty, and support. Your journey becomes less burdened by hidden agendas, more illuminated by genuine connection, and increasingly guided by the unshakable certainty of your own purpose. The clarity you cultivate now is the foundation for a life unclouded by deception and unbound by the shadows of envy. One of the most revealing signs of envy and falsehood lies in emotional inconsistency. Some people will respond warmly one day and coldly the next, not because life has changed, but because their feelings toward your success fluctuate between admiration and resentment. This unpredictability is not random. It is a reflection of internal struggle. Envy distorts loyalty and creates emotional turbulence around those who shine. When you feel this shift, when warmth turns to subtle distance without cause, take notice. Your energy is precious, and it cannot thrive in spaces controlled by unstable hearts. Recognizing this pattern allows you to protect your focus, your confidence, and your peace of mind. Observe how others handle your achievements. True supporters celebrate openly and encourage relentlessly. They feel joy at your victories because your growth reminds them of what is possible for everyone. Those who envy you react differently. They minimize, downplay, or even redirect attention to themselves. Their congratulations may carry a tone that makes you doubt the authenticity of their joy. Envy always seeks to subtract from your light rather than add to it. Awareness of this distinction is not cynicism, it is empowerment. It allows you to invest your trust in relationships that magnify your strengths rather than quietly erode them. Pay attention to the subtle ways falsehood emerges in conversation. Lies are not always dramatic or obvious. Often they are small distortions, half-truths, or selective omissions. These are designed to mislead without confrontation, to bend reality so that your perception is clouded. Detecting these patterns requires presence, attentiveness, and trust in your intuition. When you notice repeated inconsistencies between what someone says and what they do, you are witnessing the footprint of deception. Acknowledging this footprint allows you to choose clarity over confusion, truth over illusion, and alignment over compromise. Another revealing sign is how people react to your boundaries. Envy and falsehood often show themselves when you assert limits. Someone who respects you will honor your space, your choices, and your pace. Someone whose heart is not genuine may resist, push, or manipulate to test whether you will yield. Their reaction is a reflection of their need to control rather than support. Recognizing these moments helps you reinforce boundaries not as walls, but as shields that preserve your energy and allow your growth to flourish unimpeded. Each boundary you hold is a declaration of self-respect and a refusal to let envy dictate your direction. Consider also the patterns of attention. Genuine people give presence without condition. Their focus is steady, unforced, and encouraging. Envy distorts attention. It arrives when convenient for them, disappears when it does not serve their ego, or surfaces only in comparison to your achievements. Your emotional radar can sense these shifts long before words confirm them. Trusting this radar strengthens your discernment. It teaches you to read energy, to evaluate authenticity, and to gravitate naturally toward those whose presence uplifts rather than undermines. The power of recognizing envy and falsehood lies in the freedom it grants you. It sharpens your awareness, fortifies your boundaries, and clarifies your connections. Each insight is a step toward a life where your energy is not diluted by hidden agendas. Each realization strengthens your inner compass, enabling you to invest fully in people and opportunities that resonate with truth and integrity. The more attuned you become, the more you create an environment where authenticity thrives and where your spirit can rise unencumbered, unstoppable, and fully aligned with the life you are meant to claim. The way people respond to your confidence can reveal more than their words ever will. Some will genuinely celebrate it, feeling inspired by your courage and growth. Others, silently threatened by your strength, will attempt to undermine it, often in the smallest ways. A compliment may feel sharp, a question may feel probing, and a joke may carry a hidden sting. These subtle shifts are the fingerprints of envy. They are not about you. They are about someone else's discomfort with your light. Recognizing this allows you to detach from their insecurities and reclaim the power that is rightfully yours. Watch how actions align or fail to align with words. People who are genuine follow through without needing constant reminders. Their support is consistent, not conditional. Those who are envious or false often say the right things, but their deeds tell a different story. Meetings are missed. Promises are forgotten. Encouragement is absent when it matters most. The disconnect between words and actions is never random. It is a signal, a pattern that repeats itself quietly but persistently. By noticing this, you can protect your energy and prioritize those who prove their loyalty through both word and action. Envy often thrives on comparison. The subtle attempts to measure you against them or others are meant to diminish your accomplishments, to make your victories feel less significant. They may comment on how someone else does it better, or how luck, timing, or circumstance played a larger role than skill or effort. These comments are designed to implant doubt, to make you question whether you truly earned what you achieved. Recognizing these moments allows you to stand firm in your truth, to know that your journey is yours alone, and that no one else's envy can subtract from the value of your work. Pay attention to how your presence is received over time. Envy and falsehood often reveal themselves not in a single interaction, but in patterns across many. Who leans in when you speak? Who listens with genuine interest? Who offers encouragement without expectation? And who withdraws, becomes defensive, or subtly diminishes your light? Your consistent observations are your compass. They guide you toward clarity, helping you distinguish genuine connections from those that carry hidden motives. This awareness is not harsh. It is empowering. It frees you from investing your energy where it will be used against you. Notice the response to your boundaries. People who are authentic will respect your limits, your time, and your needs. Those who are envious or false may resist, test, or subtly pressure you to compromise. Their discomfort is revealing. Boundaries are a mirror. They show who honors you and who seeks to control or influence you for their own insecurities. Holding firm is not rigidity, it is protection. Each boundary you enforce strengthens your clarity, your resilience, and your ability to operate from a place of power rather than reaction. The more you recognize these signs, the stronger your inner vision becomes. You stop confusing performance for sincerity, words for truth, or proximity for loyalty. Awareness sharpens your instincts, enabling you to cultivate relationships and environments that nourish rather than drain. Every observation is an investment in your freedom. Each recognition removes the weight of hidden agendas and aligns you more closely with people and opportunities that reflect honesty, integrity, and growth. In mastering the ability to see envy and falsehood clearly, you are reclaiming your energy, protecting your spirit, and creating a life where authenticity and strength are the only forces that shape your journey. Pay attention to the energy people bring into your space. Genuine connections uplift, inspire, and energize you, leaving you feeling lighter, stronger, and more capable. Envy, on the other hand, carries a subtle weight that you can feel even if it is unspoken. A conversation may seem ordinary on the surface, but after leaving, you notice tension, unease, or doubt seated in your mind. This is the invisible drain that falsehood and envy create. Recognizing it is not about becoming suspicious. It is about preserving your vitality and learning to surround yourself with energy that matches your growth rather than diminishes it. Observe how people respond to your success over time. Supporters will celebrate without hesitation. Their joy is genuine and consistent, reflecting the understanding that someone else's achievement does not take away from their own. Envy, however, often shows through hesitation, measured praise, or comments designed to redirect attention away from your accomplishments. These reactions are rarely accidental. They are unconscious ways of trying to level the playing field by minimizing your light. Being able to see this clearly allows you to honor your achievements without seeking external validation and to place your trust only in those whose hearts are aligned with encouragement and authenticity. Notice the patterns of criticism. Constructive feedback is rooted in care and delivered with the intention to help you improve. Envy-driven criticism, however, often masks judgment and serves to destabilize confidence rather than support growth. It may be disguised as advice, casual observations, or even friendly teasing, but the effect is the same. It plants seeds of doubt. When you learn to distinguish the intent behind words, you protect your sense of self. You begin to respond from a place of empowerment rather than defensiveness, and your focus remains on the work, the vision, and the progress that truly matters. Watch for inconsistencies between what people say and what they do. Words can be easy to manipulate, but actions reveal intention. Someone who truly supports you will act in alignment with their words, showing up when it counts, offering help without strings, and honoring commitments. Those who are false will repeat promises but fail to follow through, leaving a trail of subtle disappointment and unease. Noticing this pattern sharpens your discernment. It helps you invest time, energy, and trust only where authenticity can be proven, and frees you from the emotional weight of unreliability disguised as support. The way people respond to your boundaries is equally revealing. True allies respect limits, honoring your time, energy, and choices without complaint or manipulation. Envious or false individuals often push against boundaries, testing your resolve or making you feel guilty for enforcing them. Each attempt to bypass your limits is a reflection of their need to control or undermine. Maintaining clear boundaries is an act of self-respect, a declaration that your energy is sacred, and a practice that ensures your growth remains untethered by hidden agendas. The clarity that comes from recognizing these patterns transforms your life. You begin to see who is aligned with your journey and who is not. You understand that not every smile, compliment, or gesture is free from hidden motives. This awareness does not create fear. It creates freedom. It allows you to curate your environment intentionally, to invest your energy in relationships that elevate and empower. Each insight strengthens your resilience, sharpens your intuition, and anchors your focus on your purpose. When you see envy and falsehood clearly, you reclaim your power, protect your spirit, and step into a life where only truth, authenticity, and growth shape your path forward. The way someone responds to your dreams reveals their true nature more than any words ever could. Genuine people will lean in with curiosity, encouragement, and excitement, offering energy that fuels your courage and determination. Envy, however, reacts differently. It often manifests as subtle resistance, downplaying your vision, or shifting the focus to themselves. They may ask questions that seem innocent, but are designed to sow doubt, or offer advice that undermines rather than uplifts. Recognizing these reactions is a crucial skill. It allows you to protect your ambitions and invest only in relationships that honor your growth. Pay attention to patterns of mimicry. Admiration inspires creativity. Envy imitates without acknowledgement. When someone constantly mirrors your actions, words, or choices, not as inspiration, but as competition, it signals a deeper discomfort with your success. Imitation is often disguised as flattery, but its intent is to equalize or diminish, not to celebrate. Understanding this distinction is empowering. It frees you from the trap of seeking approval from those whose motives are rooted in insecurity, and it encourages you to embrace your uniqueness with confidence, knowing your light is yours to shine without compromise. Notice how energy shifts around your achievements. Envy is subtle, often appearing as quiet tension or unease when you succeed. It may come in the form of silence, awkwardness, or even faintly forced praise. These micro reactions are powerful indicators of hidden motives. They are not attacks, but reflections of another person's struggle to reconcile your progress with their own insecurities. By paying attention to these cues, you learn to differentiate genuine admiration from covert resentment, and you begin to surround yourself with energy that uplifts rather than drains. The consistency of support is another critical measure. True allies show up when it matters most. They honor commitments, celebrate victories, and provide encouragement without expecting anything in return. Those driven by envy or falsehood often falter when accountability or sacrifice is required. Their support exists only under convenient circumstances or when it serves their ego. Recognizing this allows you to allocate your trust and energy wisely, investing in relationships that align with integrity, authenticity, and growth rather than hidden agendas. Watch how people respond to boundaries and assertiveness. Authentic connections honor your limits naturally, respecting your time, choices, and needs without resistance or manipulation. Envious or false individuals may attempt to push, guilt, or provoke you into compromise. These attempts are not attacks. They are indicators of misalignment. Standing firm in your boundaries is not rigidity. It is protection, a practice of self-respect, and a signal that your energy is not negotiable. Every boundary you enforce strengthens your clarity, fortifies your inner power, and ensures that your growth is supported rather than sabotaged. The mastery of recognizing envy and falsehood transforms your life profoundly. Each insight sharpens your intuition, helping you discern who is aligned with your journey and who is not. It allows you to engage fully in relationships that energize, uplift, and amplify your vision while stepping away from connections that drain or diminish. Awareness of hidden motives creates freedom, focus, and unshakable confidence. The clearer you see, the more you protect your spirit, reclaim your energy, and cultivate a life built on truth, authenticity, and relentless growth. Your environment, your relationships, and ultimately your destiny respond to the clarity you cultivate today. The presence of envy and falsehood is often most visible in subtle reactions to your progress. When you achieve, create, or step into your power, notice who genuinely rejoices and who responds with quiet tension or faint discomfort. Envy does not always speak loudly. It whispers in the pause before a compliment, in the faint tightness of a smile, in the careful choice of words that seem supportive but carry a hidden sting. These signals are not accidental. They are the mind and heart betraying what cannot be expressed openly. Recognizing them is a form of self-protection. It allows you to preserve your energy, to step boldly into your growth, and to avoid the invisible drain of relationships that are not rooted in authenticity. Pay attention to who respects your time and effort. People who are genuine honor the commitments they make, celebrate your hard work, and offer encouragement without expectation. Envy, however, often shows itself through inconsistency. Promises are broken, support is withdrawn at critical moments, and recognition is delayed or muted. These actions, small as they may seem, create ripples of doubt that can destabilize your confidence if left unchecked. Observing these patterns helps you understand not only who can be trusted, but also the boundaries you must uphold to maintain clarity and focus in your life. Every inconsistency is a guide pointing toward relationships that either strengthen or silently erode your journey. The way someone engages with your vulnerability reveals profound truths. Genuine hearts treat your openness with care, compassion, and discretion. Envious or false individuals absorb your struggles not to help, but to leverage them later, to subtly manipulate or undermine your confidence. When you notice patterns of betrayal cloaked in sympathy, honor the warning. Protect your vulnerabilities as sacred spaces. Sharing them selectively with those whose intentions are authentic ensures that your energy is preserved, and yet your growth remains uninterrupted by hidden agendas. Subtle patterns of comparison are another signal. Envy often manifests as constant measurement, a quiet tally of who is ahead or behind, who deserves more or less. Comments may be framed as curiosity or advice, but their intent is to unsettle, to plant doubt, and to minimize your accomplishments. Understand this allows you to disengage from invisible competition and stand firmly in your truth. Your achievements are not defined by the insecurities of others. Your victories, your progress, and your vision remain yours, untouchable by anyone else's envy. Watch how attention and presence fluctuate. Authentic support is steady, unforced, and uplifting. Envy distorts this consistency, showing up only when convenient or when it serves self-interest and withdrawing. When your growth threatens to highlight their insecurities, your awareness of these patterns is critical. Trust your perception of energy. It is a powerful compass that will guide you to align with people who amplify your strengths rather than diminish them. Mastering the recognition of envy and falsehood transforms not only how you see others, but how you move through the world. Each insight strengthens your discernment, allowing you to invest fully in connections that honor your light and purpose. It frees you from unnecessary doubt, hidden competition, and energy-draining relationships. With this clarity, you reclaim your power, protect your spirit, and cultivate a life where authenticity, integrity, and growth are the foundations of every choice you make. The ability to see clearly is a shield, a guide, and a key to stepping into your highest potential without compromise or hesitation. The patterns of envy and falsehood often emerge most clearly in moments of challenge. Observe who stands beside you when obstacles arise, who offers encouragement that strengthens, and who subtly withdraws or critiques in ways that undermine your confidence. True supporters do not vanish in difficulty. They rise with you, offering perspective, energy, and unwavering belief in your capacity to overcome. Envy and falsehood, however, hide behind hesitation, half-hearted advice, or thinly veiled critiques. They appear to help, but their intent is to create doubt, to make you question whether your path is truly yours to walk. Recognizing this distinction is essential because it allows you to rely on your own discernment and invest your energy only where it will be honored and amplified. Pay attention to reactions to your independence and success. Those whose hearts are authentic celebrate your victories without reservation. They recognize that your achievements do not diminish their own value. Instead, they inspire and motivate. Envious individuals, on the other hand, often feel threatened by your progress. Their responses are subtle, delayed praise, faint discomfort, or questions that seem supportive but carry judgment. Understanding these cues enables you to stand confidently in your accomplishments without needing approval. Your growth belongs to you, and no one else's envy can take that away. Notice how people respond to your boundaries and personal standards. Genuine individuals respect limits without complaint, valuing your time, energy, and decisions. Those who are false or envious test your resolve, push against your limits, or attempt to instill guilt to weaken your stance. Each attempt to bypass your boundaries is a revelation of intent, showing you who honors your space and who seeks to manipulate it. Enforcing your boundaries is not an act of rigidity. It is an act of self-preservation. Each boundary you maintain strengthens clarity, reinforces your energy, and ensures that your life unfolds in alignment with truth rather than compromise. Observe patterns of subtle criticism and comparison. Envy often disguises itself as advice, curiosity, or casual commentary, but its effect is to destabilize and diminish. Words designed to provoke doubt or highlight perceived shortcomings are not harmless. They are the seeds of insecurity meant to distract from your focus. Recognizing these moments allows you to step back, evaluate intent, and protect your inner confidence. Your attention should not be captured by invisible contests or unspoken rivalries. It belongs to the work, vision, and growth that you are committed to achieving. The reactions people have to your energy reveal their true alignment. Authentic supporters respond with encouragement, excitement, and genuine engagement. Envy distorts this response, creating subtle tension, withdrawal, or discomfort in the presence of your strength. Your perception of energy is a powerful guide. Trust it. It is telling you where your spirit will thrive and where it may be diminished. Learning to read these signals with clarity allows you to gravitate naturally toward relationships and environments that reflect honesty, encouragement, and authenticity. Recognizing envy and falsehood is not about suspicion. It is about empowerment. Every observation sharpens your discernment, strengthens your boundaries, and clarifies where your energy should flow. Awareness of these patterns allows you to step into life with confidence, free from the subtle drains of hidden agendas. As you cultivate this clarity, you align with people and opportunities that reflect truth, integrity, and growth. Each insight into character is a step toward a life unburdened by deceit, fully fueled by purpose, and guided by the unwavering certainty of your own light and potential. True clarity comes when you begin to observe the subtle patterns of behavior that reveal who is aligned with your growth and who is not. Watch how people respond to your moments of triumph. Those whose hearts are genuine will celebrate openly, feeling joy in your victories without hesitation or reservation. Envy reacts differently. It often surfaces in quiet tension, delayed acknowledgement, or faintly forced praise. These reactions are not accidental. They are the reflection of insecurity and fear, not your shortcomings. Recognizing them allows you to step fully into your achievements without being pulled into doubt or comparison. Your progress is yours alone, untouchable by the envy of others. Notice the subtle ways criticism can be used to undermine. Constructive guidance elevates, teaching, refining, and encouraging growth. Criticism rooted in envy, however, destabilizes and diminishes. It may come disguised as concern, advice, or even humor, but its intent is to provoke self-doubt, to make you question your choices, and to slow your momentum. Learning to differentiate between guidance that builds and commentary that destabilizes is essential. It strengthens your discernment, allowing you to focus on actions and feedback that align with your purpose, rather than feeding into hidden agendas. Energy patterns are equally revealing. Genuine individuals energize, uplift, and inspire you simply by being present. Their engagement leaves you lighter, more motivated, and confident in your path. Envy subtly drains energy. It can appear as tension in conversation, discomfort around your successes, or attempts to shift focus away from your achievements. Your body and mind perceive these shifts long before words make sense of them. Trusting these signals sharpens your awareness, giving you the power to allocate time and attention wisely and to protect your emotional and creative energy from being diminished by others' insecurities. Observe responses to your boundaries and personal standards. True allies respect them instinctively, understanding that your limits preserve your focus, integrity, and growth. Envious or false individuals push, test, or challenge these limits, often disguising resistance as concern or persuasion. Each attempt to bypass your boundaries reveals intent and alignment. Standing firm is not an act of rigidity. It is an act of strength, self-respect, and clarity. The more consistently you uphold your boundaries, the more you protect your energy, your purpose, and your ability to thrive without compromise. Patterns of imitation are another clear signal. Envy rarely celebrates uniqueness. It seeks to replicate and compete. When someone mirrors your action, style, or ideas without acknowledgement, it is often less about admiration and more about insecurity. True inspiration respects originality and fuels mutual growth. Recognizing imitation allows you to honor your own individuality without being distracted or diminished by comparisons. Your uniqueness is your power, and no amount of covert competition can diminish it if you claim it fully. Mastering the recognition of envy and falsehood transforms your life. Each insight strengthens your ability to choose allies, invest in relationships that matter, and protect your energy from subtle sabotage. It frees you from unnecessary doubt, hidden competition, and the drain of inauthentic connections. With clarity, you move through the world with unwavering confidence, your energy aligned with truth, your focus sharp, and your path illuminated by integrity and purpose. Awareness of character becomes not just protection, but the foundation for unstoppable growth and freedom. The clearest indicator of who is aligned with your growth is how they respond when you set your sights on something ambitious. True allies encourage you without hesitation, celebrating your vision and providing energy that fuels your courage. They lift you up, offering perspective and support without expectation. Those consumed by envy, however, react differently. They may hesitate, offer faint praise, or couch their words in concern, subtly sowing doubt about your ability or choices. These reactions are not about you. They are the reflection of their own insecurities, their fear of your potential. Recognizing this allows you to protect your vision, trust your instincts, and move forward without being derailed by hidden agendas. Observe how attention shifts when you succeed. Authentic supporters rejoice, finding inspiration in your progress and delight in your victories. Envious individuals, however, may redirect conversation, diminish your achievements with subtle commentary, or measure your accomplishments against their own. Their responses often create internal friction, a quiet unease that can make you question yourself if you allow it. Understanding these dynamics teaches you to maintain focus on your journey, to value feedback that strengthens rather than destabilizes, and to separate external noise from the truth of your growth. Pay close attention to patterns of reliability. Words alone can be deceiving, but actions reveal true intent. Those who are authentic show up consistently, honoring their promises and demonstrating commitment to your growth. Envy and falsehood manifest in inconsistency. Commitments are broken. Encouragement disappears when it matters most, and support is conditional. Observing these patterns allows you to discern where your trust is safe and where it risks being exploited. Every act of consistency is a marker of authenticity. Every inconsistency is a signal to recalibrate your energy and attention. Your vulnerability is another lens through which true character is revealed. Genuine people handle it with care, compassion, and discretion. Those driven by envy or falsehood may internalize your weaknesses, not to help, but to leverage later, to subtly destabilize or manipulate. Recognizing this pattern allows you to protect the sacred space of your vulnerability, sharing it only with those whose intentions are aligned with integrity and growth. Each boundary you maintain strengthens your resilience and ensures that your journey remains unencumbered by hidden motives. Envy and falsehood are also visible in the dynamics of subtle criticism and comparison. Constructive feedback nurtures, guides, and elevates. Criticism rooted in envy destabilizes, planting doubt and distraction. It is often disguised as advice or concern, but the underlying intent is to diminish confidence and redirect focus away from your progress. Observing these patterns teaches discernment, allowing you to embrace feedback that strengthens your path while disregarding input meant to derail or undermine. The ability to recognize these patterns transforms your life completely. Each insight sharpens your intuition, clarifies your relationships, and protects your energy from those whose intentions are misaligned with your growth. Awareness frees you to engage with people and opportunities that elevate, inspire, and empower. It anchors you in truth, integrity, and purpose, creating a foundation for unstoppable momentum. When you see envy and falsehood clearly, you reclaim your power, safeguard your spirit, and step into a life where authenticity and growth define every choice, every relationship, and every step forward. The truth about envy and falsehood is that they often hide behind smiles and words that seem supportive, but the energy they carry tells a different story. Watch how people respond to your light. Those whose hearts are aligned with truth will radiate warmth, encouragement, and genuine interest in your growth. They lift you effortlessly, their presence amplifying your energy instead of depleting it.